Welcome back to Have You Heard? My name is Zoe. I'm one of the co-founders and managing director here at The Social Shepherd. And today I'm joined by Kai.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, as Zoe said, I am Kayed, and I'm the senior creative content exec here at The Social Shepherd.
Lovely. So today we want to talk about something that we've been doing for quite a while now. So well over a year, probably on to 2 years. And something that we've seen great success on for TikTok, something that's kind of a non-negotiable if you're a business on TikTok. And that is utilizing your employees as the people that are starring in your show, really showing off brand personality. And I think that hasn't really traditionally, well, people have kind of done it for Instagram, but it's been in more of like a meet the team, and it'll be like a static and a carousel with some text on it.
Yeah.
Whereas on TikTok, you're actually asking team members to get involved, to not take themselves so seriously, because if they take themselves seriously, they will just get absolutely ripped apart. So we've been working with our clients, some of which have, you know, I'm trying not to like give names or specifics away, but sites all across the UK, or like retail stores all across the UK. And so we are working with team members, but they could be new team members every single time that we work with them. And we're working with people that aren't used to being in front of the camera and might actually find the thought of being on a TikTok a little embarrassing sometimes.
Yes.
And you can kind of turn up and you know, they're not really that enthusiastic at times, or they just don't want to be involved. And I think we've really sort of become very good at getting people that aren't used to being on camera comfortable in front of the camera.
Yes.
And that is a skill in itself. But yeah, I think, look, basically if you're a business and you're utilizing TikTok and you're not using your team members on there, then you're missing a trick, because your content just isn't going to fly as much. And it's an entertainment platform. You need to show off your personality, and what better asset to show it off than your team members. So, but I guess what I want to talk to you about today was, you go on these shoots, you direct on these shoots.
I do.
And I guess I wanted to kind of understand, what kind of challenges do you face? Like, so you rock up on the day.
Yeah.
You've got your 12 TikToks planned.
Yes.
You're with the production team.
Yeah.
You've got your phone and your gimbal.
Yeah. Just standing
You're
there.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Banging on the doors.
Let me in. Let me film.
Let me film my TikToks. What challenges do you find whenever you sort of get there? Like, what are the most common things that you could come across?
I think the most common thing that I see when I go on shoots is nerves. And I think that's really common for people who are not used to being in front of the camera. I don't know if you can tell. Obviously, someone like me loves being in front of the camera.
I used to be an actor.
Zoe, stop. Drama school. So for me, I've seen that like nerves when people have to perform and stuff, and I kind of understand it. So I think the best way to combat that is, first of all, make sure people know that it is just fun. Like, I think sometimes people get so wrapped in their head
You're
that
not in a mini movie.
You are not, as much as I would like it to be, as much as a 12-part documentary.
And sometimes, like, this sounds really bad, but sometimes, like, the more awkward and, like, shitty the acting is, sometimes, like, the better it does on TikTok, because people have more to talk about.
But it's not even that. Like, I always say to people, like, if I've been on a set with people who are really nervous, I'm like, lean into that. I'm like, you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not.
Uncomfortable.
Like,
we love it.
Like, look awkward, look nervous, look like you don't want to be here. Give me less. But like, the more natural that you are to yourself, like it people can see that, and people are able to like connect with that. So I always say to people, I'm like, you don't have to feel like you need to like be this big like star, and you don't have to go in there being like singing like musicals and doing like a full like kick line. Like, if you're uncomfortable, play to that character.
Yeah, and like sometimes, you know, like the ideas lend themselves to that sometimes. And like some ideas, you can kind of tweak it to the person's personality.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the storyline comes from the narrative of the TikTok. And so that's why, like, if your planning isn't down, it's just not going to go well
for
on
sure.
the day. But, you know, quite often they're lip syncing.
Yeah.
It'll be like a really simple sound that takes 2 seconds. And that's really where, like, the magic comes from. And I think it's whatever type of person they are is helping amplify that.
Yeah.
And if they do tend to be like, you know, the maybe quieter person at work, you know, it's going to be harder for us to be like, okay, come on, like we can do this now. But it's just people skills, really, getting them in front of the camera and then just amplifying whoever they are.
Yeah. It's also as well like, understanding people's boundaries and being able, like, from a directing point of view, it's really important that you like connect with the people that you're working with and stuff and understand where their limits are and finding like the best ways to like bring the best out of them. You know, I've worked with actors and models who prefer like the whole like sassy Kayed who are like, yes, slay. And I've worked with people who like really want to be like
terrifies
yeah,
them.
and that like fully terrifies them. And you know, I come in being like, and it does scare them quite a lot sometimes. So then you try a different approach, which is more like coddling's probably the wrong word, but like more handheld and like just like walk them through it a little bit more. And like, you know, the production team laugh at me because I always like act out what I want the people to do. But some people really respond to that because
I think when you're doing TikToks, that's kind of the best way to get the
Yeah.
best out of them is to act it out because you know what the required, and also showing examples.
Yeah.
And showing them that no, this isn't. You're not in a mini movie.
Yeah.
Like this is a trend. Lots of people have done this. That look just like you. That are just like you.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a trend led stuff, or equally if you're doing a unique concept, which we, to be honest, try and lean more towards now as unique concepts, but even just showing similar conceptual examples to them so that they get less scared.
Yeah. Well, also like you just said then about showing them an example. You get some people who are like actually super happy to be in front of the camera, but their brain doesn't work and they're like, I'll do anything, but I don't know how to think of what you want me to do. So I need to see it. And I just think it's really important to like let them know, like level the playing field. And like once you like start acting it with them, they're like, oh, that person's doing it. So it actually isn't a big deal. They don't care. So why should I care? And then it just helps them relax a bit more.
Yeah, it's like school plays in a way, like in the auditions and stuff. Like the first
I never
kids
auditioned.
Oh, right. But like the first kids were always like really like meek and like,
Yeah.
and then it got like gradually, and then you always go, okay, go again. Now that we settled into this type thing. But yeah, like I just think it's massively important that brands get their internal teams involved. And I think one of the things that we're working on with our influencer team is like generating those internal influencer programs so that, you know, like we're more than happy to rock up and work with new teams every single time, but you know, you do find you'll get like your odd stars here and there, and then people on TikTok will recognize them and be like, "Oh, Colin, we love you," and that's really nice in a way because they're just regular people, and I love seeing that. So we're working on the internal sort of influencer program where we can build relationships with the teams, and that also helps us with and us and the head office teams that we often work with come up with potentially more relatable concepts sometimes because they know the common questions that people ask whenever they come through the door, and it just makes it easier. So that is something that we're launching for quite a few of our clients is internal influencer programs, and I think it's really, really important. But yeah, I mean, I guess, is there anything else that kind of creeps up, or for any brand that wants to get their team members involved and stuff, would you have anything that you would kind of say to them to prioritize?
I'd say the main thing is to like be as authentic as you can.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes people, brands still don't quite understand like the full like nature and power of TikTok, and I think they still see it a little like Instagram and become a little bit promoty.
Yeah, and like take the piss out of yourself.
But honestly, the best brand, and it's so funny because when you talk to like clients about what brands they're like Ryanair, Aldi, who like literally rip the piss out of themselves, rip the piss out of everyone because it's playful, it's fun, and it's where
not that deep.
It's really not that deep, and it's where people get to go, oh, this is the nature of the brand, and they stop seeing you so corporate, and I think that's where TikTok brands on TikTok kind of like get the most engagement when they're like, oh, this is not a corporate brand trying to like sell me stuff. This is just a brand.
It's not really like a purpose building channel.
No.
In terms of like your more serious purpose building stuff, like it can be purpose building in the sense of like our purpose is to provide low cost X. Okay, great, but let's tap into that more. Like if someone's paying a low cost for something, they probably aren't going to expect the same level of service as if they were paying a high cost for it. So let's tap into that. Yeah. And that's where you get like the really funny stuff coming through from your Ryanairs and things. So I think, yeah, like aligned with what you kind of said, I think if you're a brand out there and you're wanting to be on TikTok, you need to utilize your team, and you just need to stop taking yourself so seriously. Yeah.
100%. Don't be so serious. Why gotta be so serious?
Cool. Okay. Well, I think we've tackled that, and I'm excited to like keep continuing with the internal influencers program. And I think, you know, we've built such great relationships with clients, and now it's great that our team like you just turn around to you guys and you'll be like, okay, so you're going to go here and you're going to film with like these 8 people. You've never met them before. They've never been on camera before, and you don't flicker an eyelid. So I think that's like a massively strong skill. And whenever I speak to clients, I always say that that's kind of one of our USPs, is being able to make people comfortable in settings. But yeah, have you got anything else to add?
Get your team out there. Get your team out there and just have fun. Have fun with it. It's supposed to be a laugh.
Nice. Well, thank you for listening / watching, depending on where you are currently. And yeah, keep tuned for more episodes.